All right, our next and final speaker is Elizabeth McGuire. She's a master's student in the Department of Animal and Dairy Science at UW-Madison. She's co-advised by Jennifer Van Oy and Ryan Prawley, who's at UW-Platteville, and her work is funded by the Dairy Innovation Hub.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today I will be speaking on understanding the impacts of dry-off on dairy cow welfare in automatic milking systems. So for a little bit of background information, cows are producing a substantial amount of milk in late lactation when dry-off occurs. This is causing a problem because after dry-off, cows are no longer being milked, so that milk accumulates in the udder, causing udder pressure, and also increasing our risk of milk leakage and intermammary infections such as mastitis. In a natural setting, your offspring would start to suckle less or milk the animal less, causing a decrease in milking and a decrease in milk production before dry-off would occur. Previous research has indicated that this gradual reduction in milking frequency before milking stops completely has a positive impact in animal welfare. So if we know it has a positive impact in animal welfare, why are we not using gradual dry-off? Part of it is a knowledge gap in the optimal milking frequency and optimal step-down length. But the larger part of this issue is that it requires more attention to individual animals, requiring this extra time and extra labor cost. The way we can go about that is, however, as farms switch to using free-flow automatic milking systems, or AMS, such as the one utilized at UW-Platteville's dairy, farmers have a unique opportunity to control the milking frequency approaching dry-off based on the data that the AMS provides them. So the objective of my study overall is to understand the udder characteristics and dairy cow pain presented with a gradual dry-off versus an abrupt dry-off treatment. So overall, we're going to enroll 36 Holstein cows at the UW-Platteville dairy, 18 per treatment. Today, I'll discuss about 12 cows. We're currently in the middle of data collection, so we have 6 per treatment. So we hypothesize that our gradual dry-off will see this fall in milking production, resulting in less milk accumulation, less milk leakage, and less overall pain. So a little bit for our methods. Cows are enrolled onto my study 74 days plus or minus 3 days prior to their expected calving date. At that point, our gradual dry-off cows will see their first step down, and then they'll continue getting step down for 14 days. At that point, labeled as day 0 in the rest of my charts here, both treatments will be barred from the AMS and marked as dry. They'll be continued in the lactating pen or in that AMS pen for 5 additional days, so that way we can evaluate them. After those 5 additional days, they'll be kicked out to a dry cow lot. We'll pause our data collection, and then once those cows calf back in, we'll resume data collection and we'll follow them for 45 days into milk. So for my results, just to orient everybody a little bit, that day, oh, this got a little goofy, sorry. So day 14 is our day of enrollment. Day 0 would be the day they are considered dry. And then because we have cows milking at different milking frequencies before they get dried off, they're enrolled onto different step-down treatments. So we have one in our, this 3 times a day milking was her first step down. And then we have another 1 cow in there, and then the other 5 were in this 2-day was their first step down. So what we can see on this graph is all of our cows in our gradual treatment, or this blue line, saw a large decrease in milking production before they were dried off. That resulted in those animals having less milk leakage in day 1 and 3 after dry off compared to their abrupt counterparts. Those gradual dry off cows also saw less firm or very firm udders. So here we can assume that firm udders or very firm udders might be associated with pain due to that accumulation of milk after dry off. We also evaluated this pain response, so an avoidance behavior, by palpating the 4 green dots on our udder up there. If the animal avoided us or pulled away from us, we noted that as a pain response. And what we see here is our animals in our gradual treatment are actually going against our hypothesis, but it's important to note here that we have a very small sample size right now, and this is also descriptive results, so it doesn't account for individual cow behavior. So these cows might just be more flighty. So our next steps, we are taking 3D infrared images of each cow's udder on days 9, 0, 3, and 5, so that way we can evaluate them for udder changes, such as udder volume following dry off. We also are evaluating other behaviors, such as milking behaviors, so milking refusals, and then this waiting zone behavior, which is our bottom image here. So as animals maybe approach the AMS to get milked, but there's too long of a line, so they go back to lay down, and then also lying behavior. So key takeaways for my project is that individual dry-off methods can be easily implemented in automatic milking systems and might improve animal welfare according to our preliminary results. I would just like to give a huge thank you to my project. My research cows are at UW Platteville, and then I am host here at UW Madison under Dr. Van Oss.